Okay, so ngayon naman, we will discuss about the standard score or z-score. Okay, so standard score or z-score, it measures how many standard deviation a given value of x is above or below the mean. So, siya rin yung nagsasabi kung ilang s, di ba, or gaano ba kalayo yung ino-observe natin na value. Okay? Doon sa mean. Okay po? So, we have positive z-score and negative z-score. Okay, so when we say positive z-score, the score or the observed value is above the mean. While the negative z-score, the observed value is below the mean. For us to find the z-score, the standard score, we have these formulas. So, for the sample, and we also have the formula for the population. Okay, so for the sample, we have z is equal to x minus x bar over s. And for the population, we have z is equal to x minus mu over sigma. Okay, where z is the standard score or z-score, x, this is the raw score, or this is the observed value, x bar, this is the sample mean, and this is the standard or sample standard deviation. And this population, for the population, we have z is equal to x minus mu over sigma. Yung x natin, yung z natin ay z-score din. X natin is the raw score. Etong mu na to, this is for the population mean, and this sigma is the population standard deviation. So actually, halos wala namang pinagkaiba. This is just the same x minus mean over standard deviation. So, yung nagkaiba lang siya sa symbol. And kailangan lang alam natin kailan ba natin gagamitin yung symbol na s. Kailan ba natin gagamitin yung symbol na mu. Okay? So, kapag sample ang given, then ito yung formula na gagamitin. Pag population ang given, and ito yung formula na ating gagamitin. Okay? So, again, positive z-score. Ibig sabihin po, yung score is above the mean, and yung negative z-score, ibig sabihin, yung score is below the mean. Okay, so for example, on the final examination in statistics, the mean was 75 and the standard deviation was 12. Determine the standard score of a student who received a score of 60, assuming that the scores are normally distributed. Okay? So, now, ang gagawin natin is hahanapin natin what is the standard score of the student who received a score of 60. Okay? So, that is for the sample. Since wala naman siyang sinabi or wala namang binigay na population mean, population variance, or population standard deviation, then, ang given natin is a sample. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin is we're going to convert this raw score into z-score. Okay? So, to find the z-score, lagay lang natin lahat ng given. Ano yung x? Ano yung x bar? Ano yung value ni s? Okay? So, yung x natin, again, x, this is the raw score or this is the observed value. So, yung ino-observe natin na value is 60. So, bakit po 60? Sabi dito, determine the standard score of a student who received a score of 60, assuming that the scores are normally distributed. Okay? So, ino-observe natin na score is 60. And yung mean, this x bar is for the sample mean. Yung sample mean natin is 75. Okay? The mean was 75. And the standard deviation, which is denoted by small letter s, was 12. So, ito na yung mga values ni x, sample mean, and ni s, or sample standard deviation. So, ngayon, just substitute lang po sa ating formula. Ang x natin is 60. Ang sample mean natin ay 75. Okay, so over ang s natin, which is 12. Okay, so z is equal to 60 minus 75, that is negative 15 over 12. And this negative 15 over 12, so negative 15 divided by 12, so the answer is negative 1.12 So, z is equal to negative 1.25. Okay, so ano tong z is equal to negative 1.25? So, ibig sabihin po, so this indicates that ayan. This indicates that 60, yung observed value natin is 1.25, positive na to ha, 1.25 standard deviation below the mean. Okay? So, since negative yung nakuha natin na z-score or standard score, so balikan natin yung sinabi ko kanina, negative z-score, ibig sabihin yung observed value is below the mean. Okay? So, since negative to, ibig sabihin po, yung 60 na observed value natin or yung score na chine-check natin is 1.25 below, since this is negative, below the mean. Okay? So, that is for this given situation. Okay? Okay, so bakit ba kailangan pang kunin si standard score or si z-score? Okay, so may mga pagkakataon kasi na hindi given si standard score or si z-score. Ibig sabihin, kailangan pa nating i-convert. Kailangan pa natin siyang kunin kasi ang binibigay or yung given ay raw score. Okay? Okay, so for example, scores in a scholarship aptitude exam are normally distributed with mean of 72 and the standard deviation of 8. Okay, so for letter A, what is the probability that a randomly selected applicant will score above 60? And for letter B, what is the probability that a randomly selected applicant will score between 68 and 84? Okay, so sa topic kasi na to, babalikan lang natin kung paano ba natin kinukuha yung areas under the normal curve. Okay, so sa pagkuha kasi natin ng areas under the normal curve, ang una na kailangan natin doon is yung value ni z. Okay, so since dito sa ating given example, wala pa pong value ni z, ibig sabihin, yun muna yung hahanapin mo. Kukunin mo yung standard score nitong given raw scores. Okay, so letter A muna tayo. Sa letter A, hanapin muna or ibigay muna lahat ng given. Okay, so ano ba yung mga given natin dyan? Okay, so what is the value of our x? Ano yung value ng x bar or sample mean? And value of our s. So for letter A, ano yung raw score natin or ano yung observed value natin? Observed value natin is 60. Okay, so what is the probability that a randomly selected applicant will score above 60? And their x bar or our sample mean, given si sample mean with a mean of 72. And how about the standard deviation? Given din si standard deviation, which is 8. Okay, so again, first step, hanapin muna natin ano yung z-score. So, z-score natin, z is equal to, formula natin, x minus x bar over s. So, substitute lang po natin ang ating given. X natin is 60 minus sample mean natin which is 72 over ang standard deviation natin which is 12. Okay, so that is equal to 60 minus 72, that is negative 12. Okay, so negative 12 over 8. Okay, so now negative 12 over 8. So, negative 12 divided by 8, then the answer is negative 1.5. So, that is negative 1.5. Okay. So, ngayon, meron na tayong value ni z. Meron na tayong value ni z. Ibig sabihin, makakapag-proceed na tayo sa kung paano natin, or magagawa na natin kung paano kumuha ng areas under the normal curve. Okay? So, balik tayo sa steps kung paano ba natin kinukuha yung areas under the normal curve since meron na tayong value ni z. Again, first step, sketch the normal curve. Okay? So, sketch lang po natin ang ating normal curve. Okay. Igitna si 0. Sana gitna. Okay, so next, ilagay si negative 1.5 which is ayun yung z na nakuha natin or z-score na nakuha natin. So since this is negative, ibig sabihin nasa left side. So negative 1.5. Okay, so next is analyze. Analyze natin yung letter A. Sabi dito, what is the probability that a randomly selected applicant will score above 60? Okay, so guys, etong 0 na to is the mean para sa z-score. Okay, so yung gitna natin is yung mean. This is for z-score. And yung katumbas nito sa raw score is 72. Okay, etong negative 1.5 na to is yung z-score natin. And yung katumbas nito sa raw score is 60. Okay, so again, yung katumbas nito sa raw score is 60. So, z-score yung nasa taas, yung nasa baba niya is yung raw score. 0 pagdating sa z-score, pagdating sa raw score, yung mean natin ay 72. Negative 1.5 pagdating sa z-score, pagdating sa raw score, ang value nito ay 60. Okay? So again, analyze natin yung given. Ang hinahanap po, probability that a randomly selected applicant will score above 60. Okay, so above 60. So ibig sabihin from 60, ayan. So from 60 or negative 1.5, above, ibig sabihin po pataas. Ibig sabihin pakanan. Okay? So, above 60. So, from negative 1.5 or from 60, papunta sa kanan. So, ibig sabihin, ayan yung hinahanap natin na area. Okay? So, kapag po above, ibig sabihin to the right. Kapag below, ibig sabihin po to the left. Okay? So, since this is above, ibig sabihin to the right of negative 1.5. So, ito yung hinahanap natin na area. Okay? So, again, to find this A, kailangan natin ng A sub 1, kailangan natin ng A sub 2. Kasi yung A sub 1 natin is ito na. Left to right tayo ulit. A sub 1. Ito yung A sub 2. Ibig sabihin, yung A natin is pinagsamang A sub 1 at A sub 2. Okay? So, now, we let A be the, ano yung A mo ulit? Area. So, bumabalik lang po tayo sa steps sa kung paano natin kinukuha yung area under the normal curve. Ang dumagdag lang dito is, kailangan mo munang kuhanin yung z-score. But then, yung process ng pagkuha ng area, yun yung susundin natin. Okay? Area, yung A natin, area to the right, right of, so, yung A natin, area to the right of negative, z is equal to negative 1.5. Okay? How about our A sub 1? Ang A sub 1 natin, A sub 1 natin is area. A sub 1 ko, from negative 1.5 papunta kay 0. Okay? So, area between z is equal to negative 1.5 and z is equal to 0. Okay, so next, A sub 2. Ang A sub 2 naman natin, okay, so guys, balikan natin yung sinabi natin kanina. Sinabi ko kanina, na magkakaroon tayo ng half of the curve kapag ang given is to the right or to the left. Okay, so since ang hinahanap natin is area to the right of 1.5, so to the right of 1.5, so itong A sub 2 na to from 0 papunta sa kanan, So, A sub 2 natin, from 0 papunta sa kanan. Again, 0 papunta sa kanan or 0 papunta sa kaliwa, that is half of the curve. So, ibig sabihin yung A sub 2 natin is area of half of the curve. Okay? So, next step. Ano na yung sunod na gagawin natin? Ang sunod na natin gagawin is, hahanapin na natin ano yung value ni A sub 1, ano yung value ni A sub 2, ano yung magiging value ng area natin, ano yung magiging value ng A natin. Okay? From the table, hanapin si A sub 1, hanapin si A sub 2, and alamin paano hahanapin si A. A sub 1 natin, area between z is equal to negative 1.5 and z is equal to 0. So, ibig sabihin po, hanapin lang sa z table yung 1.5. Again, kahit negative yan, yung 1.5 yung hahanapin natin pagdating sa z table. Okay? So, that is 1.5. Hanapin lang po. 1.5. 1.5 or 1.50, it is just the same. So, 1.5, ayan. So, 1.5, 1.50. Okay, and that is 0.4332. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung value ni A sub 1 natin is 0.4332. So, ibig sabihin po, itong part na to, yung area na to is 0.4332. How about our A sub 2? How about our A sub 2? Okay? So, A sub 2 natin, area of half of the curve. So, again, kapag meron tayong half of the curve, automatic yung area nun is 0.5. Kalahati ng curve. Okay? That is 0.5. So, now, A. Paano natin makukuha yung value ng A? So, yung A natin is pinagsamang A sub 1 at A sub 2. Ibig sabihin, that is A sub 1 plus A sub 2. So, katulad na sinabi ko kanina, kapag dalawang side yung nakuha mo sa normal curve, the operation is addition. So, kaya po mahalaga na tama yung pag-i-sketch mo. Kasi ito yung pinagbabasihan mo kung ano ba yung magiging formula mo to get the value of A. Okay? So, now, A is equal to A sub 1 natin, which is 0.4332 plus A sub 2 natin, which is 0.5. And the answer is 0.4332 plus 0.5, that is 0.9332. So, this is the area. Okay? So, this is the area. But then, ang hinahanap kasi sa atin, probability that a randomly selected applicant will score above 60. Okay? So, ngayon, probability or chance. So, convert lang naman natin siya into percent. So, the probability that a randomly selected applicant Okay. So, the probability that a randomly selected applicant will score above 60 is 93.32%. Okay, so ibig sabihin yung chance na yung score niya is above 60 is 93.32%. Okay? Okay, so for letter B, same lang naman po, same situation, but then for letter B, what is the probability naman that a randomly selected applicant will score between 68 and 84. So, dalawa yung value ni X. Dalawa yung raw score natin. So, ibig sabihin, dalawa yung kukuhanin natin na standard score or z-score. Okay? So, kunin muna natin yung standard score for X is equal to 68. X is equal to 68. yung mean natin or sample mean ay 72 pa rin. Yung S natin or sample standard deviation ay 8 pa rin. Okay? So, to find Z or Z score or standard score, Z is equal to X minus mean over standard deviation. So, just substitute the value of your X, mean, and SD. Okay? So, that is equal to X natin ay 68 minus 72 ang value ni mean over S natin which is 8 and that is equal to 68 minus 72 so that is negative 4 over 8 or negative 0.5. Okay, so yung Z natin is negative 0.5. 4x is equal to 68 and how about x is equal to 84? So just substitute lang din po yung value ni x. So Z is equal to, diretso na ako, no, 84 minus 72 over 8, which is the value of your S. So, Z is equal to 84 minus 72, and that is equal to 12 over 8. And 12 over 8, so 12 divided by 8, and that is equal to 1.5. Positive 1.5. So, positive 1.5. Okay. So, meron na tayong dalawang standard scores. Okay? So, negative 0.5 and Z is equal to 1.5. Again, ang hinahanap natin, probability that a randomly selected applicant will score between 68 and 84. Okay? So, next, since meron na tayong values ni Z, ang next na natin gagawin, proceed tayo sa pagkuha ng areas under the normal curve. Okay? So, alalahanin ano yung steps. Ano yung steps sa pagkuha ng areas under the normal curve. Okay? So, first is sketch the normal curve. So, sketch lang natin yung ating normal curve. Pasensya na kung hindi perfect, okay? So, igitna si 0. Gitna si 0. And next, ilagay yung value ni, or yung z-scores natin, which is negative 0.5 and positive 1.5. So, si negative 0.5, since that is a negative number, then, nandito siya sa kaliwa, okay? So, negative 0.5. Malapit sa 0. And yung isa pang z-score natin or standard score is positive 1.5. So, since this is positive, nandito siya sa kanan. So, 1.5. Okay? So, next, itong 0.5 or negative 0.5, ang katumbas nito sa ating raw score is 68. Katumbas niya is 68. Itong 0, ang katumbas niya ay 72. Pagdating sa raw score. Itong 1.5, ang katumbas na itong 1.5 na z-score, pagdating sa raw score is yung value ni x which is 84. Okay? So, next, analyze na mabuti. Ang hinahanap natin is the okay? So, it's the probability na yung score is between 68 and 84. So, ibig sabihin, from 68 hanggang 84. Ito yung hinahanap natin. So, from 68 to 84. From negative 0.5 to positive 1.5. Ito yung area na hinahanap natin. So, ayan po yung hinahanap natin na area. Okay? So, we let this as A sub 1. To get the value of your A, kailangan ng combination ni A and A sub 1 and A sub 2. Okay? Pinagsamang A sub 1 at A sub 2. So, A sub 1 yung left, A sub 2 yung right. Okay? Okay, so ngayon, we let A be the, ano yung A natin ulit? Area between Z is equal to, yung Z-score na po, negative 0.5 and Z is equal to positive 1.5. Okay? And our a sub 1, ang a sub 1 natin is ito. From negative 0.5 hanggang 0. So, that is the area between z is equal to negative 0.5 and z is equal to 0. And our a sub 2 is a sub 2 natin is ito. From 0 hanggang 1.5. So, area between z is equal to 0 and z is equal to 1.5. Okay? So, pagtapos na yung normal curve, next step is alamin ano yung value ni a sub 1, ano yung value ni a sub 2, ano yung magiging value ni a. So, ano yung a sub 1, ano yung a sub 2. Ang a sub 1 natin, area between negative 0.5 and 0. So, hanapin lang po sa ating z table yung 0.5 or 0.50. Okay? So, 0.5. So, 0.5. Ayan. So, 0.5 or 0.50. So, that is 0.1915. Okay? So, 0.1915. So, yung a sub 1 natin is 0.1915. How about our a sub 2? Ang a sub 2 natin is the area between z is equal to 0 and z is equal to 1.5. So, hanapin lang po ulit sa z table yung 1.5. Okay? So, 1.5. Hanapin si 1.5. Okay, so 1.5 or 1.50, ang equivalent is 0.4332 or yung area is 0.4332. So, that is 0.4332. So, ngayon, ano yung value ni A? Yung A natin is pinagsamang a sub 1 at a sub 2. So, ngayon, meron akong value ni a sub 1, meron tayong value ni a sub 2. So, to find the value of your a, that is a sub 1 plus a sub 2. So, dalawang side yung nakuha natin kay normal curve. Kaya po, yung operation natin is addition. Okay? So, a is equal to, just substitute yung a sub 1 and a sub 2. A sub 1 natin, 0.1915 plus a sub 2 natin, which is 0.4332. Okay? So, that is 0.1915 plus 0.4332 is equal to 0.6247. So, yung area natin is 0.6247. So, this is for the area. But then, balikan natin yung question. The question is, what is the probability that a randomly selected applicant will score between 68 and 84? So, now, the probability that an applicant that a randomly will score between 68 and 84 is 62.47%. Okay? Again, the probability that a randomly selected applicant will score between 68 and 84 is 62.47%. So, ibig sabihin yung chance na yung scores nila is between 68 and 84 ay 62.47%. So, ibig sabihin yung area nito is 0.6247. Okay? That's it. So, again, kunin muna ang z-score or standard score, and after nun, punta na ulit sa steps sa kung paano natin kinukuha yung areas under the normal curve. And don't forget yung conclusion natin. Okay? Thank you so much.